Hey guys, Mike Lewis here with MikeLewisInc.com. Hey, listen, let's talk about patience for a second because I don't know if you were anything like me growing up, but I'm gonna tell you what, as a young child, hearing the word patience would literally make my skin crawl because I don't know if you're anything like me, but I remember when I heard that phrase "be patient," for example. I always associated that with being denied whatever it is that I wanted. And so it wasn't until I began to go through life, and especially when I end up attending college, when I began to understand the process of patience. And make no mistake about it, there is a process when it comes to patience. And so I want to share with you a few simple tips in order for you to be able to endure that process and then be able to make it out on the other side. So one of the first things you have to do when it comes to understanding the process of patience is, first and foremost, you have to make the decision. It's very cliche for us to say, you got to make a decision, but I'm more thinking along the lines of you have to make the decision. When you make the decision, you're making a decision at the heart level. A lot of times we make a decision to move forward or endure patience, for example, at the head level. We're based on the circumstances and things like that. But when you make the decision at the heart level, you are making a decision based on understanding that it's a process. Especially in my generation, sometimes we have this microwave mentality. You put something in the microwave and you want it just like that. And so we have to understand that if we're going to be successful in life and whatever it is that we do, we have to have patience. So understanding that at first and foremost, you have to make the decision at the heart level to actually endure what it is that you're going through. Okay. Second thing is you have to prioritize. This was a hard one for me because I wanted what I wanted, right? And I don't know if you're anything like me, but I wanted what I wanted. And I wanted it when I wanted it. And so to have to wait for something was just something that was just like foreign language to me, right? And so when you prioritizing things, though, what you're doing is you're investing your time in your values and your convictions, right? So many times we major in the minor things, right? Sometimes we give in to people saying something negative about us or lying on us, whatever it is. We major in those minor things. And what I learned to do was I began to understand that those minor things are irrelevant, right? So I began to shift my mentality, and instead of majoring on the minor things, I began to major on the vital things, right? Which was my values and my convictions. Now, when I understood what my values and my convictions were, then it allowed me to prioritize the things that I wanted to get done and what steps I need to take in order to get done as I was enduring this process or this time frame that we better associate with patience. The third thing that you have to understand is this: everybody wants to be productive. In some form or fashion, everybody wants to be productive, but you have to understand this: productivity can only be achieved through patience, right? No person that you've ever seen or admired, whether it's Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, whoever it is, listen, they all had to go through this process of patience. They didn't get to where they are overnight. They had to endure some things, which leads us to the next one. Listen, you have to be able to welcome challenges. So many people run from the challenge, but I am a firm believer that you must run to the challenge because again, I remember when I was in college and I was going through a very, very difficult time in my life. And I will never forget, I came across a scripture. I came across a scripture in the Bible. Now, I'm not here to push religion on you. I'm not trying to say, listen, you need to believe this or that. But my thing is this: I only can teach you what I know, right? And so I remember coming across this scripture found in the book of James, as a matter of fact, and it says, "Count it all joy when you fall into divers temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect, entire, wanting nothing." Listen, that changed my life. That changed my life because it helped me to understand that challenging times develop endurance, right? And when you have endurance, that endurance, it cultivates character. Now, why is this critical and why was this such a pivotal point in my life? Because I ran track in high school, right? And so one of the things that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt is that in order for me to be successful on that track, no matter what event I ran, I was normally a sprinter, but I knew that I had to get my endurance up to a certain condition in order for me to be effective on that track, right? And so when you're running track, for example, it may hurt, right? You're going to go through those challenging times, but it's going to pay off in the long run if you just endure it, right? So hopefully this helped you guys to understand the process of patience. Again, make the decision, not a decision. When you're making the decision, then the decision is made at the heart level instead of the head level. Secondly, you want to prioritize what's important to you based on your values and your convictions, not on what other people's opinions should be about your values and convictions, but what you value and what you hold dear as convictions in your life. Number 3, understanding that productivity can only be achieved through patience. Productivity can only be achieved through patience. And then last and surely not least is welcoming the challenging times, understanding that those challenging times are necessary in order for you to be able to go through this process that we call patience and be able to come out productive and victorious on the other side. All right, so again, hopefully this helped you guys. If you have any questions, anything that I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.